paper, Enhanced Security for ATM using OTP and Facial Recognition, published by Elsevier. He received campus placement in one of the world's largest multinational banks, JP Morgan Chase, as an application developer in mobile. There had been a
So today's topic is remapping life with values. So that's the topic for today. So let us begin. Remapping the life with values. What do you mean by remapping? Anyone? Reconstructing, great. What's a good name? Percy. Okay, great. So Percy says reconstructing. Okay, great. Anyone else? Any thoughts? Any doubt? Yes. Come on. Yes.
Unlearning and relearning with the right approach.
Okay, anything else? Remapping. So in computer science we have something called as hash map. Right? So in computer science, where you have something called as keys and values. So it's a data set. So whichever on the left hand side you have the keys, and then it pinpoints to some of the core values. And that's what today's our topic is. We are going to remap our own life with very amazing values. If you see Google Map, I have decided to visit Lee Meridian Hotel. Lee Meridian Hotel. And I have typed it in my Google Maps. And then I am driving my car, right? And very peacefully I am going. Somehow the location showed on my Google Map showed me that it will take me about 4 hours. 4 घंटे लगेंगे ली मेरिडियन होटल पहुंचने के लिए. It shows in Pune, by the way. Now this Lee Meridian Hotel, when I am traversing, little later on the journey I realized, oh my God, this is not what I wanted to visit. So the problem happened was, the Lee Meridian Hotel I wanted to visit was there in Sakinaka only, near in Andheri East. But then the Google Map had showed me another Lee Meridian Hotel in Pune. Right? Now what's the problem here? I was very confident enough. I was having a positive approach in life, as they say, be positive, isn't it? I was very positive while I was traversing. Please, yeah, the microphone please.
Neglecting small details.
Neglecting small details, interesting. What's your good name? Atharva. Interesting point. Thank you for that. Neglecting a small detail about the location. Oftentimes in life it does happen, isn't it? How many of you have observed that you are so confident, and that's why it is called as overconfidence, isn't it? So confidence is good, but when you become overconfident, then that's a problem. So the problem is, the map which I have been shown, the direction is the problem. The map is correct, but the direction is wrong, or it is showing something else, what I wanted to traverse actually. Exactly similarly, in our lives also, we have to check whether is it the correct map of our life. So today we are going to talk about it. So let's begin our discussion. Remapping life with values. What are you looking for in engineering? Money, okay, great. Job, okay, what else? Come on. Huh? Girlfriends? What? Okay, of course, because yeah, many people they come for different purposes. I don't know. Right, to have a partner and this and that, right? The more money you have, the more successful you will become. Is it true or false? False. Okay, I think yesterday's exercise was a good one. What's the secret of happiness?
About 28 million searches on Google shows up with endless advice, desired by all but attained by a few.
How many of you agree with this statement? It's desired by all. Every one of us wants to be happy. But then, the problem is, although we desire it, but hardly we get it. So much time is spent on the quest for happiness rather than experiencing happiness. Yes or no? So the secret of happiness lies in doing what you love the most. Okay, by the way, where is this experience happening? Is it somewhere outside? somebody else is experiencing our happiness, ऐसा तो नहीं होगा. Then where is it actually happening? Any thoughts here?
The hormones.
The hormones, okay. Okay, happiness is experienced within, but where? कहाँ पे? पैर में, घुटने में, पेट में. Where is it actually? Where is that experience? Who is experiencing, by the way? The brain. Huh? The nerves are experiencing happiness. You are close. Heart is experiencing happiness. Can you give the microphone to him? Soul. Oh, that was a new one. Interesting. The happiness is experienced in the mind. Yes or no? Right? Our mind is experiencing the pain. Right? Our mind is experiencing happiness. Yes or no? Anyone of you heard about ikigai? Can raise your hands? Yeah. Can somebody tell what is it all about? Can pass the microphone. Please raise your hand. The mic will come to you. Anybody would like to say about what is an ikigai? Heard about it? Pardon? Microphone.
It's a book. I haven't read it, but I have.
Okay. Anybody knows the meaning of ikigai? Successful life. Okay. मेरे को भी success हो गया. So, yes. Give the microphone to him.
It's about finding the true meaning of life.
Finding the true meaning of life. That's interesting. What's your good name?
Rishikesh.
Rishikesh. So Rishikesh says finding the true meaning of life. That's correct. Have a look. Okay, anyways, didn't want to show the whole thing. It's about 5 minutes. Okay, so this is what an ikigai means. Do what you love to do. So it's a book about how the people in Japan, there is a place in Japan called as Okinawa. Thank you. Yes. So Okinawa is the place wherein almost 60% of the people they are centenarians. Centenarians means they live up to 100 years. Almost 60% of the people they experience a very long and very happy life. And the Americans, they always used to wonder that what is it so special about Japanese people? We are all Americans and we have such amazing brains and amazing minds, amazing industries. But America is not so good in businesses, by the way. It's the Japanese businesses which is the most successful in the world, by the way. So in Stanford University, they did a research on why is it so? Why the Japanese businesses are so successful? And they found out that these people, they not only just work for earning money, as you all said, right? Because most of this purpose is to earn money. That's why we join in the. So that's the reason why we join. In engineering colleges, and many of us think like that. But the Americans, they found out that it's not, the actual reason. Because the Japanese people, they are not only competent in their skills, but they also have a very good culture, right? So they have some very interesting things. And yesterday in the session, he was discussing about the 4 quotients of life. Anybody remembers that? Come on, a quick revision for that. Microphone will come back to you. That was a dashboard of life. Anybody remembers that? Physical. Okay, physical quotient. What else? Intellectual quotient. What else? Spiritual quotient. And the last one? Emotional quotient. Good. Very nice. Thank you for that. Emotional or social quotient, right? So they found that these people, they have an amazing emotional or spiritual quotient. The Japanese people. They are not only thinkers, but they are also very good with their relationships. In life, success, I always say, is not a quotient or is not a function of only 1 or 2 quotients. Success is a function of all 4 quotients put together. And that's the secret of the Japanese people. So in this ikigai diagram, you can see, it's a very interesting, what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs. Because it's not always what you love is what going to, always also do good for others, right? And that's why we have, these three things, right? And the Venn diagram. And in the center you see there is an ikigai, is finding a purpose in our life. Yesterday I think we had a good discussion on the purpose, right? He was mentioning about it in his presentation yesterday. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of values. And that's the topic for our today's discussion. We are trying to remap, we are trying to have a very nice understanding about what are some of the very essential values in our life. And why is it so very important to have these values? When I was working in JP Morgan, in the initial 45 days we had an induction training program. Every company has that. In that induction program, one of the senior directors in the company, he shared something very interesting which I still remember. Now this was way back, the induction program that happened was 2015, 7 years now. But the way he told this incident and the statistics, it still remains in my mind. And he said that 99% of the employees, 99% of the breach, the data breach that happens in a bank like JP Morgan and many others, the top investment banks, is not because of an outside person. It's not because of a phishing attack. It is because of the inside person. Thank you. So 99% of the malpractices, 99% of the breach in the data or misconduct, it happens because of the internal guy present in the company. But then he said something interesting, the senior director. He said, but then when we come in the campus to recruit, and when I still remember that, my whole recruitment time, because I was the only guy probably in the at SPIT, wherein I just got recruited in one round of interview in the whole campus. So they just took one round, of course, after an aptitude. So generally they have 4 or 5 rounds minimum, such kind of super dream companies or elite companies we call it at. So he said when we come for the interviews, we cannot test a person's values. He said we can only test a person's competence. To test a person's values, we need to spend some more time working with him, and then only we can understand what are his values. And that's why many of the companies like Amazon and Google also, they have something called as leadership principle round. It's basically company values, how much an employee understands and would like to follow and display as well the company values. So many values they have, right? So we are also going to see some of them. Very important, very vital in our life, not just to become successful in our professional lives, but even in our personal lives. Yes or no, right? But then, how does it matter, right? If I can become successful, if I have no values, but I am successful, right? Like I was mentioning yesterday about Jeff Bezos, right? Yes or no? Or Elon Musk, the very famous guy nowadays, right? The whole Twitter thing and all together. So how does it matter, right? If I have no values, but I am successful. Anyone would like to say something? How does it matter? Come on. Anyone? How does it matter? Yes or no? How many of you agree with this statement? Anyone? How does it really matters? मेरे को तो पैसा चाहिए था, पैसा मिल गया. I wanted it, to really increase my YouTube subscribers, बढ़ गए. I have my Instagram page, बढ़ गया. I have established my startup company, हो गया सब, वो भी successful हो गया. Yes or no? So whatever I wanted, हो रहा है. And I am confident enough, that आगे भी होते रहेगा. And I am following my ikigai. This is my passion, isn't it? As I just discussed last slide only. So how does that matter? I am successful, right? But I don't have any values. So these are some of the core values you will see, right? But how does it matter, right? I am sure, right? I see as compared to many other colleges, our college, especially SPC, I have seen many people they opt for UPSC exams. Yes, or no? How many of you are aiming for that? You can raise your hands. Yeah, we have many of them, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Many people are there. Yeah, thank you. So I see that many people they are aspirants of some civil services examinations. So government job आएगा आराम की जिंदगी जिएंगे. Yes or no? Pension भी आते रहेगी. Yes or no? What is that? जिंदगी के साथ जिंदगी के बाद भी. Right? Is it LIC? Yeah. So anyways, so people feel that chalega, like some kind of a government job will be much better than all these investment banks and all. They will just suck my all energies and things like that. And no security. By the way, a lot of layoffs are happening. Yes or no? I am sure you might be knowing about it, right? The Amazon, all the top notches also, then having a layoffs. But then it is one of the toughest exams in the world. You know that the UPSC, right? One of the toughest exams, and people crack it. Despite of that, I believe from our college itself, I think 2-3 people, even I don't know if you know about it, right? 2-3 people from the final year of engineering, or I think they just passed out last year or something like that. So I think Solaki ma'am was mentioning about it, that they were, am I correct? Some few guys they really topped in civil services examination, right? It's one of the toughest exams. A lot of competence has been checked there. But despite cracking such exams also, what do we see in the real world? So many scams. Yes or no? Right. To name a few. Who is this guy? Yeah. So in the 2010 Commonwealth Games, if you know this Suresh Kalmadi, right? So he was being accused of increasing the inflation. He was actually increasing the rates like anything. He was the main person in charge of taking care of the timings and the scoreboard, the results and everything. So he was being accused, and you can see what a big scam. My God, what a big loss that had happened to the country. 70,000 crores, right? Most successful, right? The successful people, or probably we would like to become like him. Isn't it? To get a good position by cracking such tough exams and become a politician and things like that. Another famous example, right? Vijay Mallya, right? 9,000 crore scam, right? So corrupt politicians looting crores of public money, isn't it? So what we said sometime back in the slide, that how does it matter if I don't have values but I am successful? This is what it happens. If you don't have the values, so it is like the map of our life, right? What we are describing. That is the correct map. If you don't have that, and if you have only the success, so-called money, or so-called fame, or so-called subscribers nowadays, right? It's not enough. Okay, who is this guy? Anyone? Huh? Bill Clinton, thank you, yes. Bill Clinton, right? Another case, right? Another example, right? For having competence, becoming the president. I believe the 42nd president of US, right? Become the president, and nowadays, of course, a lot of posts are coming up on Shrestha and LinkedIn everywhere, right? That now the bar is no more to become the CEO of the company, but it is to become the president or the prime minister. Yes or no? Seeing Rishi Sunak, right? So Bill Clinton, another example we can see, having a lot of competence, getting an opportunity to become president of such a country, right? One of the most powerful countries of all the times, right? The US. But what happened? Right? Again, he was being, found to have illicit relationships, right? With the White House intern at that time, right? So competence, but no values. So he has to end his career. Yes or no? And the recent example, yes or no? Right. He's going, viral nowadays, right, about the whole incident. So you can see that if a person doesn't have control on his own selves, and if he doesn't have, that those values, those right values, then what can happen actually? This was really so ghastly thing, isn't it? One of the ghastliest things that I have heard about, I believe, till now. How can a person, that too a living partner, can you just imagine, right? Nowadays that's a new culture. I don't know what kind of a culture is this, but the living partner they call it as, that's why. To the living partner, if he had so much love, right? And you know what was the reason that he gave in the media? Anyone knows? Huh? Tell loudly. He was angry, correct. He was provoked, he said. He was being provoked. But गुस्सा आया तो ऐसा गुस्सा आया ना, I can just imagine, right? I mean, it's beyond imagination also. And that too for almost a month he kept it in the freezer, right? That was another, story to it, right? How can a person be, so much into it? So you can see that if you don't cultivate the right values, then it can end up with such a ghastly scene, actually. So your talent, your intelligence and knowledge can open any gate for you. Can open any gate for you. You can get into one of the high-class jobs, right? As some of you said that was the goal of your engineering, isn't it? Why you have joined. So that the whole gate is open, maybe UPSC or maybe further on MBA and things like that. But only your values and character will keep them open. But that's very important, and that's where we are talking about a very important principle of life, a very important values in our life, and that is integrity. We'll talk about it more. So if these values, if we are learning, it's like a knife. It's like a knife. The studies that we are doing in universities, the kind of talent that we are trying to develop, if we don't really utilize in the right direction, then it can take away someone's life also. Just like you can see this aftab, right? A very classical case, recent. So it's like a knife. So if it is in the hand of a doctor, such kind of skills and talent, right? Then it can save someone's life. Yes or no? So it's very important to understand about how important it is to cultivate this value of controlling ourselves, right? To develop character. So knowledge of same science and technology has been misused nowadays, right? Same knowledge, right? In fact, ever since technological innovations are happening, anyone knows what is the most highest search on the Google? Anyone? Pardon? How to make a bomb, okay? Anyone else? What is the most highest search being done on Google? Anyone? Google, yeah, of course. Google search पे कौन सा सबसे highest rated search है, हाँ? Pardon? कौन सा सबसे ज़्यादा highest search is done on Google? Anyone knows? Weather, okay. YouTube, no. It's about pornography. So just imagine, what was the whole purpose of internet, by the way? Purpose क्या था internet का? Why it was being created? Sharing information, communication, yes or no? But then just see what has happened. What has happened to that internet? Now people are not searching about how fast I should share, because everyone knows now, isn't it? क्या ही है उसमें? Right? और वो भी एक नहीं, कितने सारे जरिए sharing के, isn't it? So many platforms are there. वो बात होता है कि कोई platform hang हो जाता है कुछ समय के लिए, WhatsApp and so on and so forth. But then so many platforms are there. Same knowledge, the knowledge of internet, the knowledge of web. Since I am coming from computer science, so we have so many, fast. React. There is something called as React. Some of you must have heard, right? React.js, developed by Facebook, right? Isn't it? So fast. The websites can load within no time actually. What it used to take in PHP and such kind of technology, it used to take minutes actually. But now the loading time has increased so much, right? And it has increased so much, right? Very fast. But how are you using it? That is very important. And you guys know, right, that the virus, right, because of which we had to face the lockdowns and things like that, right? The same knowledge, medical science, which make life-saving drug can have massive killing also. So I don't know how many of you really know about it, right? But this was something which China was, actually trying to figure it out, and that's how it exploded in the form of this deadly virus, actually, coronavirus. Anyone knows about this 16-year-old guy, right? He died by being PUBG, just imagine. Another very terrific incident to be known, right? So how many of you like playing PUBG here? I'm sure, right? I see many of the people playing. Before that, sometime back, there was a blue whale. Heard about it? Yes. So that really killed many of the people. I think it is not banned officially, by the way. But anyways, these kind of games are always there, right? To take away our life. So we have not come to engineering, I believe, isn't it? I believe you guys have not come here. Your parents have not, spending so much time, so much money, right? To give you in the college to do such kind of things, right? And in fact, that's what happened last year in our college. In our college, if you see the results, right, of your 1 year senior, right, because all the statistics, Shamini shares with me. So you're mentioning that the college, your college, previously had free access of Wi-Fi, isn't it? I believe. But then they found that majority, almost 90% or something like that, the hits were of Instagram, right? Yes, something right? Student council is there to approve, right? So because of that, the college had to ban it, the whole Wi-Fi access. Yes, right? It's not available now. Yeah. So you can just see that how technology, right, can actually take away our time, our energy,